Welcome back to part 2 of What If, you know, the Zuko was all the monsters, or all the creatures from Subnautica, slash, what if Deku was Subnautica. So I decided to use what if Deku was Subnautica, not in Subnautica. So, where we left off, both own. Here, let me turn that off. So both main characters, I'll just say that, main characters. So it was during the All for One fight. So both characters were talking like if they were one and the same. Of course, they are one and the same. Because Zuko made two different humans because of his infinity power. So then, yeah, as All for One says, nice to meet ya, Zuko. As it's good to see somebody that's stronger than a normal human. You're the only one that I can't wait. And plus, Zuko basically Zuko had also, yeah. So as the both humans are translates the monsters is what he's trying to say. Nice to meet you too. That's he's saying. But sadly, it's time for you to die. By his hand. So then he grabs, or he uses his tendrils. It's like Fantastic Four, or how Reed Richards reaches in, like he could stretch his arm out. Well, his monster form, or Zuko's monster tendrils, reaches and grabs All for One and lifts him up and crushes him. Yeah. So All for One died that fateful day. Because he got pierced by the nose and, burnt right through him. He exploded. Yeah. Because you know how the red nose monster thing is. So, as the main character tells, or actually the Zuko's clones, looks at All Might and tells him that he is still his favorite pro hero. So he's gonna leave to him. Yeah. So that's why Zuko was basically basically the yeah. So as he yeah as one of the main characters or as one of the Zuko's clones owns when then hugged All Might. That's if he was huge. Yeah. So yeah. So he lays back down as everyone is still in shock. As everyone can't believe. So both of you are one and the same with that monster? As let's say it was Mina that said that. As she gets whacked in the head by the female clone of Zuko, knocks her in the head. As she says, yeah, and that's offensive. Calling me a monster, or calling us a monster. I mean, yeah. As Momo and rest of them are like, yeah, no wonder why. You ever got tired out? Nope. And the as it's not far away. Really? Yeah. As Zuko says, as Ochako is having her doubts. Because she knows that she doesn't want to abandon her boyfriend, but at the same time, she doesn't want to accept that he's a monster. It's like a Beauty and the Beast kind. So, yeah, basically, so everyone was also terrified of the big monster. It still haunts them because they they stayed up most of the night. If they if he if they try to fall asleep, then who knows what happened. So then the Zuko's his clones. Zuko is trying to get comfy, but with his tendrils, it's hard for him to like. And plus, with his back legs, as everybody's like, "Hey guys, are you all doing okay?" Yeah. As yeah, even Class 1B students are like, "Man, that's the same monster that keeps like we saw like a couple days ago when we were at camp." Let's say because before the All for One incident. Let's say the Oni, and yeah, and the or all six of those kids found this monster as he as one of the tendrils, because it was pretty big for him. As he looks over or his tendrils as they froze, because they know that's just his arm. arm. But then it guess that guess this part is his body that the steel guy or Techu was punching. But so then they both, um, or all six of them, walked around the monster's like hair. Yeah. Like top of his hair, not his legs. As they see something that represents the little jukebox. A lullaby song. As one of them is like, wow, this monster listens to child's nursery rhymes. Are you hungry? Yeah. So then both of them are just like, or all of them like, we better not like touch his music thing. Because what I heard, there was there was rumors spread around like wildfires that there's a monster that I saw one of his tendrils, and so it was a giant worm, grabs the deer, gets devoured, and goes back into the cave. So, yeah, as they're like, man. So then so Toga, hold on. So not Toga, the Inko walks up because she knows, or that he or she wants him back. So then, yeah, Zuko, so she goes into a cave, with Asashi and two main characters, the, yeah, are NPCs, as they both like all four of them walk in, as both of them, of course, Inko recognizes this lullaby song because, yeah, Inko ends up, he kept it all these years you know. And so she walks in to the front of his head as he is sleeping, as one of the NPCs saying he's sleeping. Okay? But Inko was like job thing, like her job, ended up firing missiles at the cave, destroying it as he puts his arm above the aim, yeah, as it's blocking most of her. As the, yeah, so he kept the radio, or the one of the NPCs grabs the radio thing before and pulls it right towards the safe zone to make sure that it, yeah, as she recognizes it, her like boss commanded them to execute. Oh, so Zuko, or so Inko and Sashi walked out. Oh, as her boss says, Inko, or Miss Inko, get out of here. This is my, or he is my, it's a, or he's the property of our work. As Inko was angry, telling his own, or so Inko tells or yells back, he is my son. I won't let you harm him. As Inko says that to Zuko, but then, or to her boss, as Sashi says, yeah, we both, yeah. But then, the Inko got shot in the leg by, as Zuko, his entire body looks up, like he turns his entire head as he picks himself up, and walks, or he got up out of his cave, because he knows his mother hasn't gave up hope on, so he goes up, he walks over, and he comes out of a cave, as he says, or he roars, as missiles start flying in, as both NPCs, one with a radio, as Asashi, or he gave it to Asashi, and yeah. So then both NPCs fused back into Zuko's body, and yeah, as he says, in the loudest voice that you ever could hear, this is what he said. You hurt my mother. Time for you to die. As he uses the snow stalkers, his his limbs, and he comes in, destroys the. He basically destroys the entire military base, or entire military of highly trained soldiers of the company, that as he destroys it all, as one of the limbs, as he turns around, as Inko's had blood dripping from her leg, as she's like, as she's trying to move it, but Sashi says, no, don't do it. It might be painful. So then yeah. Of course, the Inko had a, like, in her backpack thing that was actually on Asashi's back was a cure. Her. So Zuko, whom skin is so tough, but on the inside. So Zuko wants to be, or it was specially designed cure, that he can allow himself to have more, or like turn into like his between form, like kind of like Godel fruit. Basically, he could turn into a hybrid or the full version of himself, or his human form. Yeah. Well, Inko says, as thinking, then, yeah. So he injects it into himself as his body starts to break down, as it turns himself back into a human. As he still has the same powers as what his monster form, and yeah, he could still transform into that, or or piece of, yeah. So basically, he did kill Inko's boss, not her, like, not her boyfriend, but the company that was working, or that guy that owns the or company. Sorry, the guy that owns that business just dies. So Zuko goes gets to home, and he sees his sister, as he hugs his sister, because yeah. And Inko is glad about it. So yeah, basically that's what it is. And so Nezu asked Zuko, let's say Nezu shows up after, as Nezu says, how about you join Class 1A? Because as he says, sure. As Nezu says, or as Zuko says to Nezu, I haven't really properly introduced myself. as Nezu says that to Zuko. I'm Nezu, Principal Nezu. Yeah. And I'm Zuko, Midoriya. I'm Zumi's brother. Yeah. Man, it's an honor to meet you, by the way. As he says, I kind of feel bad for not showing up looking like that. No need. So, yeah. So the next day, he shows up at UA, and he's in class 1A. Okay? As, of course, Ernest, everybody heard that Zuko is gonna come, as they thought he was gonna be in his beast mode. Like his big monster form. But when they showed up, or when he shows up before, or no, they were like, man. Of course, Ochako was, and she could not believe that her own, he's back to normal. As he says, sorry about that, guys. As Zuko says, there gave you a frightful scare. As everybody's like, yeah. Next time, Zuko, next time, tell us when you're like, what you can become. Yeah. So, but besides that, as Inko, or no, not Inko. Whoop, nope, that's not what I wanted. There you go. Inko was like, because I know there's like love, I think, and yeah. So the Ochako in this alternate timeline was basically dating Zuko, or is still dating Zuko, but now his secret's out. So, yeah. So they both got married and had a lot of kids. Like, some of them inherit, like, Zuko's like, Snow Stalker's abilities. Some inherit, like, the ice, or no, flame nose thing. Some have, like, yeah. But they all have Ochako's gravity quirk with Zuko's fire starter. So basically, starts gravity. Basically, gravity starter. So, and some of them are like, man, So, but one day, or actually before, of course, that girl ends up saying, "Is it true that you can turn into a monster? It's probably bigger than the entire building, right?" Yep. Yep. The So he goes up, or he, or let's say one of the missions. It's like the spoilers for um My Hero Academia two heroes thing, and Zuko grabs, or, or actually zooming wasn't fast enough to get the helicopter away, but Zuko was faster than her as one of the tendrils because he's in his monster form. One of the tendrils grabs him. The Yeah, as he pulls it down. So, yeah, his tail was pretty long, and like his body was, yeah, he he's basically now size of a entire island, or not island, but he smaller than an island in its full size. So when everybody's like, I'm still getting used to the you transforming like that, right? Yeah. Was Ronger was like, how does it make you feel? As everybody's like asking him that. It's pretty painful, but some of the abilities, it's worth the abilities. I can go full quiet ant mode. As he pulls down his shirt, lifts his head up, as they see like a weird mark on him. Or, to This is the point of my power too. I can go all silent. But if I had the invisible girl's power, or like quirk, huh, then I could not be stopped. And after I made part one and this part, I realized that I'm kind of doing almost the same thing with what I think, was it Ravenclaw or one of the what ifs people? It was, okay, but I will look that up later. So, but at first, let's see how long. Yep, that's perfect. When if I knew, I don't know how to spell it, so I'm. What if Deku was Giganton for Python? Not. Yeah. So, I wish I had the own, like, there was this old picture that I had, but I don't remember what it was. It was Giganton for Leviathan. It feels like it's the same thing, but instead of constantly eating like things, he was born with the natural abilities. he should have bring the what if battles back to, because it's 2024, right? 20, yeah, one of those. And yeah. So basically, yeah. Zuko, if I get the opportunity for him versus as the Gargantuan Leviathan Zuko, who would win? Put it in your comments below, and peace out, y'all. Peace.